So there's a lot of excitement for the next phase of Marvel and the things that they're doing. Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 2, all these kind of things that people seem to be really, really excited about. When it comes to DC and Batman versus Superman, or Superman versus Batman, or Justice League, or whatever the film actually turns out to be, there seems to be a lot of hate for it. A lot of which I don't really get. I'm not really sure why there's so much hatred towards it. Now, don't get me wrong. When the film was announced, there was a lot of excitement, and especially at Comic Con, you could see that reaction of what. But since then, since the casting of Ben Affleck and who they've got to play Lex Luthor, all this kind of thing, there's been a lot of hatred and negativity towards the entire production. Now, I'm not sure about the film myself. I don't like the idea of having Batman not in his own established films, but as part of a Superman film, essentially. But it's worked for Marvel, and I can see why DC would want to combine all these franchises and bring these characters to the big screen in a different way than has been done before. So I don't quite get why people have so much hatred towards this, whereas they're fine with the sort of stuff that Marvel's doing. Now, I think the difference is that Marvel now have a sort of track record of success with what they've done, whereas DC are kind of all over the place, really, with their superheroes, and very rarely do they kind of get it down with their characters. And I mean, it's a shame because they need to get it right, and I think they need to be creative, and they need to look at it from not just a big Hollywood kind of way. I think they need to take a kind of Nolan approach to it, and I don't mean in terms of tone or anything like that, but just that kind of sensibility with the creative team that can do something exciting with it, and not just try and emulate what Marvel are doing, even though the kind of construct of it is emulating what Marvel are doing. Of course, Marvel aren't the first people to ever do this. They've just been highly successful with it, and I think there's potential for it. Things like Jeremy Irons being cast, Ben Affleck, all those things don't really bother me until we'll wait and see what they actually look like and how that universe actually pans out. I think that kind of hatred is unfair. Complaining about casting is a little bit kind of perplexing because it's pointless, and I just don't really get the hate. Unfortunately, I think it's kind of it's another case of it's the cool thing to do is hate on it, and I really hope that they can do something that's exciting. It's never going to please everyone, but hopefully it can please a good amount of comic book fans and film fans, and do something exciting with those two franchises to hopefully branch off into other films in that now established universe, so we can see more Batman solo films and Superman and Wonder Woman and all these kind of things. Because if it doesn't, and if it's lazy or if it fails, then we're back to them trying to figure out new ways to bring these characters, which means more reboots and reinterpretations of those characters. And of course, those characters are always going to be reinterpreted. The thing with Batman, which is a great example of a character that's been reimagined so many times now that it's kind of the standard that it's expected that that's going to happen again at some point. And I think with Marvel, because they've been so successful with a lot of these characters kind of on their first try, that 10, 20, 30 years down the line, when they come to, what are they going to do? Do they reboot it for the next generation, the next generation? I think they'll maybe struggle with that, whereas characters like Batman and Superman, they've been reimagined now, so it's not as big a leap for an audience to take, where it probably will be for Marvel. Interesting. What do you guys think about that? Is the hate unjust? Is there not enough hate? Should we maybe hate on them more, and that's the kind of thing that will encourage them to create a better quality product? Should we perhaps not call it hate? Are we in fact just challenging them to do something with these characters, or are we in fact just kind of unpleasable and want to hate on anything that we can? I'm not sure.